Shouldn't this movie be called I Still Know What You Did 2 Summers Ago? I guess it's not as catchy. Welcome back to my review series for the I Know What You Did Last Summer franchise. I already talked about the first film. If you want to check out that video, we got the new one coming out soon. I still haven't seen I'll Always Know What You Did Last Summer. I'll get on that one soon. But as I discussed in the last video, I have a lot of nostalgia for both of these original two movies. I watched them a lot as a kid. Nostalgia is an interesting thing. It can definitely enhance things for me, but there are some people who are totally swayed by nostalgia. If they liked it as a kid, they will like it forever. That's really not the case for me. I watch the first film now and I find it very entertaining. There are things that I can legitimately point to that I think make it a really fun slasher. I have just as much nostalgia for this sequel, and yet watching it now, it kinda sucks. Because of the success of the first film, they wanted to turn this one out as quickly as possible. It was only 1 year later, new writer, new director, the director of Judge Dredd, oddly enough. But it's not without its merits, so let me give it credit where it's due and talk about the positives. I do still enjoy our main cast. I like seeing Jennifer Love Hewitt here as Julie, and I like that they have kind of continued on with some of the trauma that she was feeling in the first film. They don't touch on it as much, but at least at the beginning, she isn't just immediately magically fixed. She still feels the guilt about running someone over and leaving them to die and dumping them in the ocean, even if he turned out to be a crazy man. They didn't know that at the time, and they still did that. In addition to the trauma of losing her friends and almost getting killed, she's not in the best mental state, and I like that they have carried that over and not just magically washed it all away. But I think Jennifer Love Hewitt is good. Freddie Prinze Jr. returns as well. Everybody else in the supporting cast, like Brandy. Weirdly enough, Jack Black as a stoner with dreadlocks. Absolutely bizarre, but I've always remembered him over the years. I've always thought about him when I think about this movie. He's one of the standouts. As someone who doesn't like this movie at all, he's one of the more memorable parts of it. I like that we have a new setting. I'll discuss the reasons we're in that setting later, because what the fuck? But I like that it's a different setting. I enjoyed the fishing town atmosphere of the first one, but it's nice to change things up. Now we're in the Bahamas. And this one is probably a little bit bloodier, a little bit more brutal than the first. It's still not that creative with the kills. You get a lot of stabs with the hook. The hook is still not that interesting of a weapon, but it is a little bit bloodier. They enhanced it a tad. The body count is higher. From what the director of the new one has said, they're going for a bloodier, meaner fisherman this time, and I hope that will be true, because the kills in these movies are not much to write home about, but this one does ramp it up a little bit from the original. That's about all I have to say for the positives. This movie is stupid. So the killer's plan was to stage a radio contest, buy our main characters tickets to the Bahamas, go down to the Bahamas themselves, and kill Julie. I just have one question. Fucking why? Literally, what are you talking about? Why would you do any of those things? I also have to wonder, when he asked the question on the radio contest, what is the capital of Brazil? Did he think that was going to be an easy one for them? He's like, oh, they'll get that. I picked that question because it's easy, so they'll think they won. And they were just more stupid than he thought they would be? Is that what happened? I guess it didn't really matter, but I'm just baffled at the idea that this needed to happen in the Bahamas. Just kill her anywhere. Literally anywhere that she ever is at any point in her life in the entire world. What are you talking about? I know he used to work here. They bring that up at one point, that he worked at this hotel for a while at some point in his life. So, what is the point of this entire convoluted thing? Just kill her anywhere in her life. The point seems to be to set up this entire scenario where he can torture her before killing her. But one, that's just a rehash of the first movie. We already did that. That's not creative. Two, the real reason is obviously we need a sequel and we need it to be at least 90 minutes long, so we have to do something, regardless of how much it actually makes sense in the script. Reason number three, it doesn't make any sense. What about Ray? Why do they not seem to give a shit about Ray? They run him off the road at the beginning of the movie, and they either assume he's dead for no reason. He just tumbled down a hill. he could very easily be fine, which he is. Or they just don't give a shit. They're like, we gotta go do this giant, elaborate, torture Julie and kill like a dozen innocent people plan. Fuck Ray. Even though Ray is the one who was driving the car that ran Ben Willis over and is the one who did everything in the third act of the first film. Julie didn't do shit. That was one of my biggest criticisms with that movie, is that Julie didn't contribute to the third act at all. It was all Ray. Ray is the one who got this dude's hand chopped off and knocked him into the ocean. So why do you want Julie so bad? It's just because the script needs there to be a final girl. It prioritizes Julie, even though it shouldn't. Reason number 4, it doesn't make any sense. What was it all building to? You do all this shit where you go around killing all of these innocents for no reason at all to build up to just having Julie out in the open and telling her, haha, Julie, it's me again. I'm gonna kill you now. Which immediately culminates in the dumb motherfucker accidentally killing his own son and then dying himself like 20 seconds later. That was the grand plan. That's what all the build-up, all of this, bringing them to the Bahamas, killing every single person on the fucking island except the one sole person they actually were there to kill. That's what it all led to. Are you kidding? The movie is just bizarre to watch because it's a sequel, so we know the killer's motive. So we know there is literally one person in this entire country that you are here to kill. And she's right there. She's alone quite a bit of the time. Just go kill her. And then they don't, so that they can stretch out the runtime. It just goes around killing random people that have no connection to anything at all. It's like the one scene in the first movie where they killed Johnny Galecki's character, but even with that one, you can come up with some reasons why he would do that. That was clearly a rewrite. That was a change in the script that they added later. It's not super tight, but you can come up with some reasoning, and it was really just the one time. This time, he just kills random people that have nothing to do with anything for the whole movie. And Will is apparently completely on board with that as well. I guess being a crazy asshole is genetic. Not only is Ben a serial killer, Will is not only on board with helping his father get revenge against the person who wronged him, he's like, yeah, we'll just kill randoms too. Okay, sure. And it could still be entertaining to watch if there was a compelling mystery, but there is none whatsoever. I thought the first movie did a good job setting up the red herrings and the little breadcrumb trails for you to follow, but in this one, it's just obviously Ben Willis still. They didn't find his body at the end of the first one, so he could easily still be alive. So why wouldn't it just be him again? Like, it's obviously him still. We know who it is, we know the motive, and if there is a partner, we know it's obviously gonna be Will, because otherwise, what is the point of Will? He's a really boring character. He doesn't do anything of interest at all. His only character trait is that he has a crush on Julie, which, I mean, don't we all? But that's not enough. He's just random boring guy who's around. So if there's gonna be a secret killer, then obviously it's gonna be him. And when you get to the end, oh my fuck. As a child, I'm sure I thought the Ben son twist was the most genius thing I had ever seen in my entire goddamn life. As an adult, what the fuck were you smoking? Are you kidding me? I just like to imagine him coming up with his fake name, and he's like, ooh, Dad, I got a really good one. Get this. What if I go by Ben Son, because your name is Ben and I'm your son? It'll be right there in front of them and they'll never see it coming. And then his dad just like giggles. He's like, ooh, that's really funny. Like, what? Why? Just why? The build-up in the first movie was actually fun because the mystery was interesting, but here it's just such a generic slasher. There is no mystery. It's just random people getting slashed up for no reason at all. There's no tension. It sucks that Ray is completely sidelined again. I thought it worked well in the first movie with the story it was trying to tell and setting him up as kind of a red herring, but in this one, it would have been really nice to see him and Julie actually being together for the bulk of the movie, seeing him get to really participate, but instead, he's barely in it. We have to keep cutting back to him trying to get there, and it would have just been better to have him there. I know you got rid of him so you could have Will, and if Will was an interesting character or a likable character who we were saddened to see was the bad guy, that would work. But Will is boring and stupid and shitty, so I don't care. Just give me Ray. Carla and Ty are fine, I suppose, and I don't have a problem with the actors, but they just feel like they're just there. Helen and Barry were actually part of the plot. They were involved with the hit and run of Ben Willis, and so they were integral to everything. The main cast of characters were all essential. But it's just Julie on this island who actually matters. Her friends are just kind of there. And the killer's a fucking weird asshole who's just killing randos, so clearly they're in danger because he's insane. But they're just not as interesting because they're not actually connected to the real plot. There's so much weird, stupid shit in this movie that I don't understand how they wrote. Like when Julie's in the tanning bed. Great setup. You're in the tanning bed, defenseless, and now the killer's coming. Oh my god. But what he does is turn the tanning bed up and close it with a zip tie. Then Julie's friends run in, and they're like, oh my god, we gotta get her out of the tanning bed. And he's like trying to yank it open, and then they grab a dumbbell and start like smashing it to try to get it open. What the fuck are you doing? Just turn it off. Just turn off the tanning bed. The switch is right there. Just turn it off. There's no danger. There's no urgency. You can just turn it off. Do you understand what a tanning bed is? What is happening? When they arrive at the island, there are a whole bunch of guests, like on the beach and in the pool and at tables enjoying their food and their drinks, just like in the middle of enjoying their vacations. Then they go into the hotel to check in, and the guy's like, oh yeah, it's the beginning of the off season, the storms are rolling in. And from that point onward, every other guest is gone immediately. Every guest. I don't care if it's off season, there's not one other person visiting the Bahamas in July. All those people that we saw as they arrived, they all left. Like the moment our main characters arrived, even though they all looked like they were just enjoying the middle of their vacations. I don't understand, if you have a script that calls for no guests being at the hotel, why would you hire a bunch of extras to fill out the background as guests? Just to then immediately say, actually, there's no guests here. They all went home right now. They all teleported out of here. What? You definitely have to suspend your disbelief a little bit in the first film with what the killer is capable of doing. Like, he knows exactly which alleyway the cop car is going to turn down with Helen in it. He knows which alleyway she's going to run down. But it's something that I can accept just because it is a fun, goofy slasher. It's fun to see the killer being one step ahead, and we know that he's been planning all of this for a year. He's monitoring their every little move. But in this one, it's pushed even further. Whereas in the first one, he redirected a cop car in a town down an alleyway. Okay, whatever, I'll buy it, I suppose. In this one, at the beginning of the movie, Ray and his friend, played by John Hawkes, are driving down just a road. And Ben Willis has staged an accident on the road to kill Ray. What possibly makes you think that Ray will be the first and only person to drive down this fucking road and be the one to get out and try to help? The first film pushes it a little bit, but there's still some logic to it, whereas in this one, there's just none. And then the ending, I don't understand. The ending to the first film was stupid, but you retconned it. You fixed it. You said it was just a nightmare. Okay, cool. I'm fine with that. But then you did the same ending again, but it's worse this time. At least in the first one, we knew that he could potentially still be alive. You killed him much more thoroughly this time. And then you did the same ending again. And now it's taken nearly 30 years for you to make another sequel where you're gonna retcon that one too. This movie is just boring. It's super generic. It's really uninteresting. It's totally unnecessary. I'm just watching killers run around killing every single person except for the person they're actually trying to kill. It doesn't make any sense. Nothing makes any sense. Jennifer Love Hewitt is great, but I do not understand the love that some people have for this sequel. I know it has its fans, but I'm not with you on this one. I've heard some people say they prefer this, and I just, please, I need to hear that argument, because I don't get it. I don't think it's worth watching at all, but everything I've heard about the next film in the series makes me believe that one will be even worse, so yay! But whatever you think about I Still Know What You Did Last Summer, leave it down in the comments below, because this was all just my opinion, so I want to hear what you think. Whether you agree or disagree, we can talk about it down there. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like, subscribe to the channel so you can stay tuned for the rest of this review series. Thank you so much for the support. I appreciate it, and I'll see you next time.